Make sure that you have standards for your own life. And may those standards be the things that guide you. You're not a person that breaks down the walls of standards. You're not the person of compromise. Remember this, and I mentioned this to someone just earlier today. I said, never forget that Moses was the one who set up God's standards, and Aaron was the one that compromised God's standards. Who are you going to be like? Which one, which person do you want to emulate? Those that uphold the right standards, or those that attempt to compromise the standards in each and every way? Now, the next person or the next connection that each and every one of us need to have are those people who do not exploit our vulnerabilities. Well, what does that really mean? It's simple. Those that do not take advantage of our soft heart, of our grateful heart. Those that will not rush right in there and actually become judgmental over the things that we want to be thankful for. And what I thought about that was this, is that never allow the gifts that are bestowed upon you to ever bestow the one who gave them. Always be vulnerable about the people that have helped you inside of your life. Always be soft-hearted. Always give them a place of preeminence. You love everyone, but you especially love those that have reached down and picked you up during a difficult time. Now, David had this situation with Abigail. Now, there was a man whose name was Nabal, that David's army was encamped outside of his property. But Nabal never suffered any loss the entire time that David was there. But then, all of a sudden, David needed to move his army, and when he did, he went to this man, had someone go to him and say, "Can you give us some cakes of raisins? Can you give us some jugs of wine to be able to drink?" And this man says, "Who are you? Who do you think that you are? You person who is against Saul?" And David just thought to himself, "Oh, I'm so enraged about this person after we've helped them." He sends the messengers to him, and this fellow cuts out the rear end of the messenger's robes that David sent. And so David now is on his way to destroy this fellow Nabal. His wife hears, her name is Abigail, she hears about what's about to happen. And she jumps on her donkey, she takes the cakes of raisins, and she takes the jugs of wine, and she now just gallops her way on this donkey to be able to get in front of David. When she gets in David's presence, she actually jumps off the donkey and then lays down on her face before David. She says to David, she said, "David, don't let this blight be upon Israel, for God is certainly going to put Israel in your hands. God has chosen you, and don't let my husband, he is an idiot. He doesn't understand what he's doing." And David sat back and thought. He said, "Woman, you are wiser than I am about all of this stuff." And David decided not to kill her husband, and in 10 days, Nabal died of a heart attack. Listen, make sure you're at a place where you have people in your life that will protect you from doing the things that are wrong. And then lastly, I want to talk to you about those who actually, what they do is that they inspire you to give. I've got a couple friends that are like that. What they do is that they inspire me to be a greater giver. Because a lot of times what happens when you don't have people that inspire you to be able to be a giver, you'll actually become an individual who becomes grudging. Or you think that you necessarily have to do this. But if you sat back and you thought for a moment, having those people in your life, like a Barnabas, who would inspire you to be able to give, that those individuals actually are teaching you something. And what they're teaching you is this, is that your gift is the only influence that your future must obey. Why is it that we believe that when we do something negative, that all that negativity is going to come back upon us? Why don't we actually even believe that the positive things that we do are going to come back to us just as well? Jesus was the one who said, "Now give. It shall be given to you. Good measure, pressed down, shaken together, and running over, shall men give back to you." Well, that's all we have for today. I know that you are encouraged by all of this, and I believe that from this moment forward, that God will transform your life for the better. All of this makes sense once we discover that those instructions on giving are true. That when we would give, it would be given back to us. Good measure, pressed down, shaken together, and running over. I'm asking you to become a partner with me to take the gospel of the good news of God to the rest of this world. And I know that when you sow your seed, when you give your gift to us, that what we're going to do is we're going to help you multiply it. The greatest thing I ever learned in my life was I learned that what I gave would bring a desired result for someone around the globe. So thank you. Go over there into the comment column and just click that link that you find right there. And until next time, remember this, that Jesus Christ will always be Lord.